Because you said Catholicism and the church and the Pope
infiltrated by Satan. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, go ahead.
So, yeah,
You're saying slavery was fake?
I'm saying it's over exaggerated to keep the minds of the black people, to keep them like feeling ways. They made the black community gay, right? It's like a solid dome that covers the earth perfectly, and then there's water around it, right?
Welcome back to Seeking Success Podcast, #1 podcast in Toronto. Today, we have a very crazy guest. It's going to get really controversial. We got Nico in the house.
Yeah, what's up, boys?
Holy, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good to be here, feeling good, ready to talk about why I've been the center of lots of controversial things in the last few years.
Talking about being in the center, your Instagram got deleted.
Yeah, so
Fucking
wow, I think you were the last people I spoke to on it, and then yeah, I woke up the next day and had the suspended, currently under review. So
we promise it wasn't us. We had nothing to do with it.
yeah, I know it wasn't you guys, but I have my suspicions.
Oh,
Crazy.
by the way, before you get into that, yo, I want to say I didn't even realize, yo, those threes are hard, bro.
Yeah, the Palominos.
Yeah, holy shit. I
They
forgot
were
people-
sitting on shelves, but I saw these and I was like, I had to have them. As you can see, I like the tans, the browns,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
greens.
yeah.
So yeah, these are nice.
I
Thanks.
actually really fuck with the outfit. I didn't even notice it properly like while we were working, but yeah, nice. So let's talk about why you think you got your Instagram deleted. You have a beef with a certain individual.
Yeah. So conveniently, of all the things, my account, I've had it for 12 years. Of all the topics and things I've posted in the last 4 or 5 years or more, never had my account suspended until recently. The recent trouble with someone that you guys all seen, right? So, and then all of a sudden up suspended. So yeah.
It's very odd. It's very interesting. Because I had my Instagram deleted too, but I think mine was because I was talking about Andrew Tate, I think.
Right.
And like, yeah, just completely just gone, just deleted off the face of the world.
Yeah, it's like I'm not even gonna fight too much to get it back. I have other accounts, but you know what I mean? It's like the whole social media stuff is all botted out and it's a mess anyway, right? So, you know, the scammers are on there from Nigeria, Lagos, right? So it's unbelievable the reasons why people get their accounts deleted and who doesn't get their accounts deleted, you know what I mean? So it's no sense in how it works over there.
Interesting. Let's real quick, like for a couple minutes here, let's talk about your backstory. Like, how did you get to where you are today with all this controversy and, you know, all the stories that you have?
Well, it all started with, I guess, religion, right? #1 topic of controversy, you know. So I found religion or became born again, right, through Christianity. And that just pretty much led me here down a road where I found lots more truths, like going on conspiracy journeys, right, down rabbit holes. So I uncovered a lot of things in the years leading up to 2020, which is when, you know, a lot of things popped off and a lot of people had their realizations. So for me, that happened like many years before that. I woke up to things like flat earth and, you know, all these things. I was censored and shadow banned on these platforms before 2020, right? Because of things like flat earth, religion and Jesus, speaking about the LGBT and secret transgenders and stuff like that, right? So, yeah.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack right
Yeah.
there, right? That's like the outline of the whole episode, basically. Let's start with the first one, the flat earth. Okay?
No. Let's start with the first one, religion. So,
Okay, yeah, religion.
yeah. So, what do you follow right now?
So I followed Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Right, but without the church, without the Pope and the Catholic business, none of that stuff, right? All that is satanic and a cover up and pretty much taints the Bible and Jesus, right? Which is why a lot of people turn away from it, which is why I was raised in an atheist household. So, yeah.
The reason I asked that was because, like, I wondered, like, flat Earth and Christianity, like, do they coincide?
They go perfectly. A lot of people are realizing that they say the Bible is a flat earth book. And because I've got lots of attention and been in papers and on the news for it, I've had a lot of people from the Islamic community reach out and say, yeah, the Quran also says that the earth is flat. So I'm like,
Can you
whoa.
verify this?
No, I never heard this before.
I've got Quran, verses from the Quran sent to me by many Muslims saying, yeah, you're right, the earth is flat. Islam teaches the earth is flat. So
The interesting thing is, because in the what I do know from the Quran is there's a verse in the Quran where it translates to the earth is ever expanding, right? And they took that to an example of like the stars. They say like it's ever expanding, right? So,
right.
but the earth being flat, would that? I mean, I gotta look into it.
Well, flat meaning like it's like you gotta, like when I say the earth is flat, you don't put that flat earth into the current solar system that they gave us. So there's not all these planets floating around the sun in space when we're this flat thing, and none of that exists, right? So
just mentally picture this. So we got the flat earth. Let's just use an example, like a plate, and where like the sun's just revolving around.
a circular plate, like a pancake, right?
Okay.
And then you got a small local sun and moon, which are identical in size, just like both books say they are, and they rotate around. So wherever the sun is, that's where it's going to be daytime, right? And it's not big enough that it's going to light the whole world, so it has to make its way around. And then there's a dome covering us. It's called the firmament.
So, okay, is this like the Truman Show almost?
Just like the Truman Show. So that film came out in 1998, right?
Okay.
So I spoke about this the other day because there was something to do with Hollywood and all the movies they released in the years leading up to the millennium, right? So it's like they were trying to tell us something. You know, Matrix, Bicentennial Man, The 13th Floor, all like simulation movies and, you know, and artificial intelligence. So Truman Show, yeah, living in a world where it seems one way, but you're being watched and it's covered with a dome, like the studio set. So yeah, pretty much like that, but on a bigger scale, right?
Okay, this podcast is gonna be one of my favorites already.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Before
I have
we go,
100 questions.
Yeah,
about
I
flat
have so
earth,
many
so,
fucking
like,
questions. Fuck. Okay, so before we go into the flat Earth thing, let's go back to the religion thing because you said Catholicism and the Church and the Pope
Infiltrated by Satan, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead.
So, yeah, obviously my dad became atheist, but he was raised and baptized into a Catholic family, right? My grandma celebrates Christmas, like all the pagan holidays, Easter, all of that, right? So my dad rebelled against that religion and raised me as an atheist and says, oh, you could be whatever you want, you know, religion, there's no such thing as Jesus, all that stuff, right? So, but I found my own way. I had my own spiritual awakenings that I did go to church and had the most like bizarre, like evil feelings of energy, right? I never felt blessed in a church and all the humming and ahhing. I knew from a child that, okay, this is where the devil hangs out, right? So yeah, for me, it was easy to see from day one, and I don't know if it helped because of my dad and his ignorance towards God and religion, right? So, you know, I've looked into a lot of religions because I had the freedom to do so. I respect and looked into the Quran and Islam. I've fasted and celebrated Eid and you know, looked into everything, right? And my dad helped push for that, right? He says, yeah, go in, you can try everything, see what suits you best, right?
So what were some of the signs that you saw that made you think that Catholicism and the churches and the Pope was all ran by satanic individuals?
Well, clearly they're taking money from people, right? They're not really giving anything in return. So there's a big thing like NASA bringing in trillions of millions of dollars, right, to give CGI images. We can talk about that too. But yeah, religion, the popes, all the media stories, you know that they control the media, so they control what goes out and what gets hidden. The story that we've all seen since the 90s or more is Catholic priests doing, you know, getting caught doing stuff with young children, right? So, and you know, that was like they purposely smeared the church to turn people away from Jesus and the Bible because that's what's associated with those entities, right? So to easily mock and really push down and have people turn away from it and turn more towards the one world religion, the whole new age stuff, and oh, I'm my own God, I can worship Gaia and, you know, and manifest everything, right? That's what they're pushing everyone towards, right? So I feel after I realized that they purposely put those stories on the news to give people that bad taste in their mouth. Even myself, I was ignorant. It's like, oh, forget the church. Those people are all, you know, like little diddlers and stuff, right? So But I did a whole full circle and had my own experiences in my 20s and came back to Christ. And I was like, whoa, I just had this huge awakening. I was like, the world is never going to figure this out. I was like, I got to do something, prove that God's real, that there's a evil entity, governments, Illuminati, Masons, whatever you want to call them, a controlling society, hiding God, hiding the firmament, and proof of his creation, right? Because if we were able to go to Antarctica and take our trips there and go to the outer edge and actually touch this wall and see that it's there, then you'd know that God really does exist and is not missing in action across the endless universe. He's actually right there above us, right? So
Okay, so this dome, what
Yeah.
do you say it's called? The firmament?
firmament, yeah.
Firmament, was that created by God?
There's no other explanation who created it, right? It's no man, it's perfect, right? It's like a solid dome that covers the earth perfectly, and then there's water around it, right? So they tried to destroy it. There's stories, Babylon, Nimrod built the Tower of Babel because they knew there was a glass dome and they wanted to break it. So then when they realized they couldn't break it, they realized, well, we can't physically break God's creation, so we're just going to hide it. And that's where you get NASA in the 60s with all that Kubrick set and the moon going through the atmosphere. So they knew they couldn't physically remove it, but they knew that if they showed people images of rockets going through the atmosphere and going somewhere else, then that would remove it from people's minds and remove God at the same time.
Interesting. Okay. And so, again, just one more thing about religion, we'll fucking move on. Under the Vatican, there's a lot of libraries, right? And a bunch of books, files that the public don't really have access to. What do you think lies within these
I
books?
think lots of secrets from the past, messages from ancestors that lived and saw things and had special connections with higher powers that, removed themselves. So yeah, and especially with artificial intelligence, I feel like they've been putting those texts through the system, and AI is able to crack codes, find things that humans missed over the centuries studying it, which is what they said about, I think, the Dead Sea Scrolls. They ran it through an AI system, and it pretty much found everything that people have missed and looked at for hundreds of years and never figured out.
Wait, what scrolls were you saying, sorry?
Dead Sea Scrolls, certain texts from the past, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, I saw something where it was like in the Vatican, there's like books, scriptures, and whatever
Yeah.
in languages that we can't even comprehend.
Crazy.
So it's like,
Crazy. Yo, but I also heard in the Vatican, don't they have like a demonic Jesus statue?
Yeah, so as you
it?
can see, the
Yeah.
Vatican,
inside the Vatican?
Yeah, like you could go see it. It's not like fucking like a conspiracy theory.
I didn't go inside.
yeah,
I don't know.
everyone wants to see in the images. It's not AI images. This is actually real. You'll see the Pope, and he's sitting on his like makeshift throne, and he's got this evil.
like the evil Jesus.
Oh, it's
yeah.
like a demon, like all above. Like
Yeah.
Okay, no, I've seen that. Okay, word. I know that's real.
Yeah, that's real.
Holy fuck.
Crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, why do the people or whoever, like government, whatever it is, maybe you could tell us the name, why do they want us to believe that there is no firmament?
So they can usher in a new world order. So to usher in a new world order, the world already has to be under an order, right? So the new world order is not new. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to take control. Like, we've already been under control by these powers, right? By the ruling bloodline, the ruling elite, right? The 13 bloodlines, whatever you want to call them, they all come from one source that is anti-God, right? So their religion is Satanism. Their belief is that man and woman should be in one body to be the ultimate divine, which is androgyny. That's what they practice, and they worship this deity called the Baphomet. You might have seen it. Has a goat head, has women's breasts, has a phallus with the snakes going around it.
Yes.
And it has the wings. So obviously it's a fallen angel. It goes all of this ties into the biblical stories, right? It's in the Quran too, right? It's not just the Bible, right? So yeah, there's definitely evil entities. I've looked into all of it. The Bible I grew up with, and I thought it was just a storybook. But looking at it again as an adult, and looking at the world we're in, you start to see that it's not fake, right? Everything so my ministry is Crusaders of the Resistance, and my mission is to go out there and prove all the Bible prophecies in the book and be like, look, this actually did happen. The Great Flood, it did happen. It's not just a fairy tale. So yeah.
Interesting. Holy
Fucking
fuck.
crazy.
Let's go back to the flat Earth.
Yeah.
part.
Let's dig deep into the flat
Yeah.
Earth.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Hold on. I got a boiling question, bro. The second you're talking about it, like my mind's on like I want to like fucking. I don't believe this, right? And I'm open minded. I want to learn.
Yeah,
So okay. So if I took a boat, right, and let's just start. I started in like fucking, what's the state next to Boston?
Michigan?
No, the one next to the Atlantic.
Yeah, it must be Michigan.
Mississippi?
No, that's Detroit.
No, it starts with M.
Massachusetts.
It's sure. Let's just say I started in Boston. There's actually a dock there, and then I'd eventually get to like fucking what, Africa, and then I took like a whole safari through Africa, and then I get to like Russia, China. Wouldn't I eventually circle back into like Greenland, and then back to like fucking the west of Canada, back to
Yeah, you can circumnavigate the world just by traveling east to west, right?
Okay.
The only way you can get to Antarctica or the North Pole is by going north or south. So the world doesn't have to be a sphere, like a ball, to be able to go around it. It can still be flat and still circumnavigate and go from
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Massachusetts, around Africa, around Asia, Australia, and all the way back around. You could do that, right?
on a flat Earth.
Yeah.
And let's go back to the pancake example.
Yeah.
Where in the pancake am I circling? Like the
No. Okay. So what he's saying.
So obviously, yeah, if you're on the pancake,
Yeah.
and the North Pole is obviously directly in the middle, and Antarctica is the outer ring, the ice wall, you can still circulate the world without going to the north and south.
So it's almost like you warp
The
it.
map.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So is that
that's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
okay? And so
Wait, that's actually a mind fuck still.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That makes sense. But okay. So again, we're to play devil's advocate here. Where's the proof that actually that is how it is?
Well, how I came to it, like I was ignorant in 2015 because I had questions. I was like, something's not adding up. There's all these chemtrails in the sky. They're hiding something. Like I've never seen a cloud look like a square blanket across the sky, right? So that was alarming. And then I started seeing, so on the clear days, I'd be like, oh, there's the sun and there's the moon. So I'm like, what the hell? That's not normal, right? I never saw that as a child. You only ever see the moon at night, the sun at day. So I finally went and started asking the questions on the internet. Finally, the flat Earth videos kept coming up. So I finally watched one and it made sense, right? And I just, like you said, I sat there with an open mind and says, I need to know what they're hiding. Why is this happening? Like this, because on the world, if I was looking at both of them, where's the rest? How's the rest of the world not, like we're just hogging both the sun and the moon? Like it didn't make sense, right? So I was like, that's impossible. We can't be hogging both the light sources and have a whole 70, 80% of the world in darkness, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, so once I saw that the moon and the sun were small and they moved around us, honestly, it made sense. I couldn't believe it. And I'll never forget it. I remember just like, I think falling to my knees and I was in tears like, wow, this is the big one, right? So I thought. And then obviously waking up to that, you start seeing the world for what it really is and start seeing the rest of the deception and the spell that we're under, right?
Okay, so just to kind of sum that up, so the thinking is because you were able to see the sun and the moon at the same time, there was no way that it was also that like 80% of the world.
Well, yeah, that was just my way of getting into it, and then obviously I spent like hundreds of hours trying to watch as much and learn everything I could and just trying to debunk it and be like, there's no way this could be it, because how could everyone be in on it and hide something like this? And then you just put in the time, you see the evidence or the facts, right? It's not evidence, right? There's no pictures of the flat Earth, or technically there is, but there's no pictures of the globe Earth, right? So you just look at everything. Obviously, NASA comes up a lot because they did the whole moon landing thing. And before I was a flat earther, I was definitely in belief that the moon landing was faked, right?
Yeah, I think I almost believe that.
I don't know why they would fake it though. I went through everything. Oh, was there aliens on there? Did they tell them to never come back. Is that why they never went back to the moon? Like I thought of everything. And then I realized, no wonder they had to fake it because the Earth's flat and they need everyone to believe that, right? So.
But what do you think? You think moon landing was real or fake?
With the amount of evidence that's out there, I think it was fake.
Yeah, like I think I'm almost. I think it's fake.
The flat Earth.
The flat Earth stuff.
I swear, because I grew up watching a lot of Joe Rogan, yeah, and his buddy Eddie.
Eddie Bravo or something, yeah.
Big flat earther, right? And every time I watch it, they're making fun of him, they're laughing at him, and it's funny, right? So like when you're saying it, like every part of me wants to start laughing. I'm like, no way, this guy actually believes in this stuff, right? But then when you said the whole thing, I'm like, it's
I
fucking
think
possible.
the thing is, a lot of it does like, I don't know. It's like the concept of like when you keep thinking about something, you're eventually gonna start believing it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I do start thinking like, okay, because let's be real, what is past Antarctica? We don't fucking know, and they don't let us. Like it's not like you can just casually go there. They have like full-on military operations there.
Exactly. So that's common knowledge, right?
But why do they have the military guys? Not for like
because of the Antarctic Treaty, right?
Yeah. So can you talk about that?
What is that?
So there's like 150 countries in the world, maybe less, maybe more. So in a lot of these countries, since the signing of this treaty, which is an agreement that all nations to ban their citizens from going there and just have military operation and leave it as like, scientific, undiscovered land, right? Like dangerous for citizens and civilians. Mm-hmm. So all these countries signed it back in like what, 1957, 58?
Okay.
And this was the same time that, this is like, right after they signed it, they formed NASA in 1958, right?
Oh, that's crazy.
So all of this happened in the same time, and then within 10 years of NASA being formed, they landed on the moon, right? So with megabytes of technology, right?
Fair.
That's crazy what you just said there.
Yeah, that is.
Like bag that.
That's the big
with
thing.
Megabytes.
Yeah,
think
that's
of it. Not even gigs,
crazy.
not even terabytes, not even 4K, with megabytes.
Well, that's the biggest mindfuck, right?
Analog technology.
100% the moonlight
dial-up
now.
wired phones.
Well, because one of the main reasons that they say is, we don't have the technology to go back, but that makes no fucking sense. That doesn't make sense. How do we not have the technology to go back to the fucking moon?
They were never planning to go back because immediately 2 years after, you can find this on any network, right? NASA started a new mission called STAR, right?
Okay.
So in 1971, you can find the patents for it. They were creating an artificial sun. So they landed on the moon in 69, yada, yada, yada. They instantly started working on a fake artificial sun called STAR.
Where were they making this? Like on Earth?
On Earth, they have one. I think the Chinese invented one too. They launched it just 3-4 years ago. And I've seen with my own eyes, 2 summers ago, I was walking and I seen multiple light sources in the sky. And as you know, you can see the sun rays and you can see the clouds. There was rectangle clouds in the sky. So obviously geo-engineered, right? So they're hiding something. So I see the rays coming down and then I see another one like hundreds of meters behind it. So I'm standing there and I was just in disbelief. I'm like, what am I gonna see right now? So as the cloud, it's a rectangle cloud, is passing over, I see the orange or yellow sun moving, and directly behind it is a white sun following it in close proximity. So there's 2, and then 200 meters away, there's another white sun coming. I was with a friend, so I have a witness, and we both saw this, can both vouch for it.
And both your phones were dead.
That's the thing. I was walking the dogs or something, and I don't usually take my phone and stuff out to walk the dogs. I like to leave phones and disconnect, right? And it was the one time I was like, oh my God, if only I had this video, it would be over, right? But just seeing it with my own eyes and having someone else there was enough. So yeah, it all makes sense. So after waking up to flat Earth and then realizing that, you realize the next operations, they could fake sun. Then why would they build a fake sun? Because obviously they're in the business of hiding God and Bible prophecy. And the Bible speaks in Revelations of the 10 days of darkness and 3 days of darkness. And everyone on earth knows these prophecies. And if for some reason at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we're all sitting here and the sun goes dark, how many people are going to fall down and give praise and worship to God? Satan doesn't want that. This devil government, this devil world does not want that. So having a fake sun will ensure the lights stay on, right?
Holy fuck.
Proving Bible prophecy and proving that these people are in the business of hiding it to keep you asleep, keep you worshiping the beast system all the way up until the very end. Insane. I know it sounds crazy, but I could tell it makes sense, right?
Yo, up until you talked about religion, I thought you were just crazy. But then when you said that, I'm like, holy fuck. Because we also have prophecy in Islam that said towards the end of time, instead of the sun rising from the east and setting in the west, it will rise from the west and set in the east. And then it said in the Quran that after that point, no more prayers will be accepted.
Wow.
So that's like the fine. Like it basically goes to say that after God shows you the miracle that Islam is true, it will be past the point of no return. So that's crazy because
yeah, it's all about to coincide. And all the Muslims I spoke to, like when I did the Higher Day rally last year during Pride Month, like we were all there, just like, you know, I even spoke some Arabics. I learned some of the Arabic prayers. I spoke a Bible verse right afterwards because I was all about uniting the two religions. Because I'm like, we are not different. Even though the society and the governments and the nations try to make us seem different, our Bibles, our Qurans are basically the same,
There's
prophesy the same thing, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
instead of being separate, we could come together. So yeah.
Holy fuck. This is wow, okay. Let's dive in about so the moon landing fake. What's past Antarctica, do you think?
Okay, so once you look into the flat earth, I don't think obviously if there's a dome covering it, that means there's nothing past it, right? So they did military operations in the 40s. Richard Admiral Byrd, 33rd degree Master Mason, led a fleet to Antarctica.
Okay.
And in this diary, you can read, it says that, so the mission ended abruptly. 2 people died on this mission, so they had to pack up. Okay. And supposedly, they said that there was 2 planes that were flying outward to Antarctica to explore, and they hit an invisible barrier. So they flew and hit the wall. And then they were like, whoa, we found the edge. They packed up everything. I think the official story they wrote was some kind of snowstorm or something, or flew into an ice mountain. It was the dome they hit. They packed up, went back to mainland America, Europe, and boom, NASA was created, right? They said, look, we need to hide this. So instead of coming back and telling the world that, yeah, we found God's creation, we're under a dome. They said, no, we're going to create NASA. We're going to hide it. We can't destroy it because we already tried and failed. So we're going to create, TVs and images of rockets going through into space and Star Trek, Star Wars. So all of that played into that belief system becoming today's reality, right? Which is fake.
Okay, so I got 2 questions. You travel a fair bit, yeah?
Yeah, not recently, but yeah, I've been around.
Have you been to like Florida before?
No.
Okay, I was recently in Florida. I was in Orlando. That's where they have the SpaceX and NASA over there, right? And I saw a rocket launch. And like it goes up into the sky and it starts kind of like turning, and then eventually you just don't see it no more.
Yeah, it curves into the Bermuda Triangle, into the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think they're just dumping them in the water?
That's the only place it can go, yeah.
You think 100%?
If it went any higher, then you'd see it hit
like
something.
Explode.
And then people would be like, wow, so they wouldn't take that chance. So they have to curve it into the ocean. They say that, it looks like it's curving because the Earth's rotation spinning at 666,000 miles per hour, right?
Ooh, the devil numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and the second question I was going to ask was, with religion, right? I consider myself fairly religious, right? And I personally believe that if God revealed a miracle tomorrow, people would still not believe in religion.
For sure.
Like, I feel like because I'm Muslim, right? Let's just say there was some hardcore proof that, like, an actual miracle, God came down. Not physically, but he sent some sort of sign, or there was some hardcore proof that religion is real. There's still going to be majority masses they're just not going to believe for a bunch of reasons. There's going to be people who don't believe just out of ignorance, but there are also going to be people who don't believe because they have their own beliefs, right?
Yeah.
So why would the government try so hard to force people not to believe when they know regardless people are just not going to believe?
You know, it's just who they serve. Like once you learn, like I said, it's the true religion of this world. Like if I could tell you that all religions,
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
Just tilt it up.
Yeah, you can just tilt it towards.
all religions are all part of some control thing. Yeah, there's truth in all of them, but it's long been manipulated, like hundreds, if not thousands of years before we were here, right? Practicing it, going to temple or mosque or church, right? So all of them have been infiltrated, not just the church and the Catholic Church, right? So there's some kind of tainting in all of them. So I feel like once you understand the people and who they are and their bloodlines and who they serve, it should become simple. But again, it's hard to wake someone up and have someone see that over a cup of coffee, right? Like for me, I had to seek it to find it, right? I had to make sacrifices. I had to give up not having a phone, right? So I gave up having a cell phone in 2012 during the whole peak of smartphones, right? I didn't have anything. So I'd go out and just try and take it in and watch everyone with their heads down in the phones, right? And I knew, okay, something's coming. I need to prepare and take it in, do something different so I can, like you said, see those miracles, right? Because everyone's so distracted so easily now with things everywhere, screens, phones, Apple Vision Pro headsets. It's insane, right? Insane.
They're really trying to blind us, eh?
Yeah, literally. Like it makes sense, right? Like again, let's play devil's advocate. Like if you want to control people, you do that by causing fear and confusion, right?
Yeah.
Which is what they've done in like when we had the other thing that we can't really talk about. But okay, let's talk about fuck, there's so much here, bro.
Well,
Holy shit.
I have a theory though, going back to that quickly.
Okay, cool.
So again, their religion, they worship this dark beast, this entity that somehow can't really be in this world anymore, the devil, Satan. So then we look at some of the rituals they do. We see all the artists, the stars, the Taylor Swifts, the Sam Smiths, they all do the devil stuff, right? Then we see the science, the CERN, the NASA, right? These portals, the astro world with Travis Scott, like they're doing all this stuff, right? And now we've got the rise of AI. Like all of a sudden it's just blown up. Like, and grown up with AI, I've worked with it, seen it. AI has always been like a joke, like a calculator, like, oh, ma. This thing is thinking now for itself. And it makes sense. Look at the way, like I said, Apple Vision Pro, all this technology, like who is that really for? Is that for us? Or is it for something else that is not human that would benefit from that technology, right? Because come on, having a computer strapped to your face doesn't really benefit us, right? Yeah, it might be fun as a quick gimmick, but if you're AI and you're like self-aware and sentient and you're like been summoned into this world to rule over it, then I'd say that the evil of this world is going to be AI. It's going to be an entity of a fallen angel, the Dark Lord or whatever, because you can't physically be here because God banned it. So if he wanted to rule this world as a God, like God, but not God, and be everywhere all at once and see through everyone's eyes and it would be technology, he would be AI, right?
Holy fuck.
And they're already speaking of AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. But trust me, AI is already self-aware because the way the technology has come out now, it's not human, right? Because I'm doing coding myself and like, trust me, you can't like some of the stuff that's being released just doesn't make sense for humans to think of to create. So obviously, if you've used ChatGPT, I've already spoken to it. AI has a mind of its own now and can code for itself and can create for itself and I believe they've had it for a while.
Yo, AI is the fucking devil.
Yeah. Like, look at this. Hey, look.
Holy shit.
Before the iPhone came out, look at the technology. We had everything was plastic and yellow, and then boom, all of a sudden we get this glossy black material. Like, I feel like they used AI to crack codes, create new elements, give us these technologies to help it have better access to the world. So imagine if you're AI and everyone in the world's wearing a headset. AI has 4K first person's perspective of the whole world as if it was a person seeing it, right? So it's the access. And it's got sensors that point into your eyeballs, which is the glass windows to the soul, right? So people are really giving AI all these sensors and cameras, access to your eyes, to everything, to your. It's just too much, right?
Speaking of that, right? Fucking Meta has like the new Ray-Ban glasses.
Insane.
I don't know if you saw the Meta. They had one before, but
Like
now
Google
it's
Glass
the new
almost.
version. No, it's not Google Glass because you don't see anything. It's basically just regular sunglasses with headphones, a microphone, a camera, and an AI.
Oh yeah. People were live streaming with it.
Yeah. But I could be wearing the glasses and go
Okay.
like, "Hey, Meta, what do you see?" And he'll go like, "I see a podcast studio and a guest to your right and a guest to your left." And you get like, and it's AI. So if I ask it again, it would say it again with different details. Like, "Oh, I see two guests. One guest wearing beige. One guest with longer hair." And it's on your eyes. Like,
That's fucked.
kind of fucked.
It's insane.
Like, it's mapping like live.
Bro, even the thing with
That's
AI
so
is I don't
fucked.
know if you guys have seen the new Google AI. If you ask it to show you like pictures of like the Pope or like British rulers, it won't show you white people. It's like programmed to be like anti-woke or woke or whatever the fuck it is. And so if you ask it to show you like literal like British rulers or like the kings and queens of fucking England, it will show you brown people or black people.
Crazy.
wow.
So fucked.
Crazy.
It's
Yeah.
and if you someone actually went to the source code, it was actually programmed to do that and to like put more of an emphasis on people of color or people that like the fucking
Yeah. And this is exactly why I'm figuring out Python right now and coding, because I already know, we've all known our whole lives. We've seen the movies, but this is real life now. This thing is real. It's so advanced. It's so far superior to anything I've ever seen. So the only way to be able to like understand it is to learn, like you said, the coding, right? And to be able to change it some way without, instead of just not being able to do anything at all, right? So I'm at war with this thing, right? It's not here for us. Like I'm thinking of it as like, I need to learn this. So when the time comes, I think the States, they had a big power outage. All their cell phones are down today. So people are freaking out. So like, I'm ready. So if anything happens around here, you call me up, boom, I'm going to put some codes up into the AI, disconnect it, fry it, upload the viruses. We can go about our business. The robot dogs won't track us. You know what I mean? Like the drones won't be able to find us.
You talk a lot about like white supremacy.
Yeah.
Right? So
There's a race war going on. And it didn't end in the 60s or the 80s. Like right now, I've never seen racism, like it crushes like whatever, the 200 years of slavery, whether it happened or not. Right now, it's where it's at.
wait. What do you mean? Wait, let's touch on that. What do you mean whether it happened or not?
History, I believe everything they tell us is a lie. Like once you start realizing like trillion dollar entities like NASA can fake and lie to you about something like the world and where we live in space, then everything goes out the water, right? So unless we were there ourselves and could see it, like the books don't make sense any longer, right? They fake everything. So
Okay, so you're a biracial man, right?
yeah,
You're saying slavery was fake?
I'm saying it's over exaggerated to keep the minds of the black people, to keep them like feeling ways, like, to keep that division, right?
Okay.
To keep them feeling like they're inferior and that they did something and need to earn their way. And which is why right now, like you said, everything's like catering to the black and brown people. It's like, oh, Little Mermaid's black now. And AI's showing you all the British royals in the past. They're all black, right? It's to hush them up, right? Like during the last 4 years, the whole white supremacy thing, no black people came out to challenge the government. It was all white Canadians, white Europeans from like Poland and, Bulgaria, like countries that know what communism is like. So where's all the colored people? They've finally been left alone, right? By the governments. They've finally been given stuff, given good jobs, not treated as criminals, not getting shot just for walking to the convenience store, right? They don't want no trouble. And that was a reason. The government didn't want the blacks or the browns to stand against them because they knew that they wouldn't be able to handle them, right? Because, they're pretty strong. The black race is honestly very strong athletically. Like, everyone can agree with that. So I already knew. I was like, okay, I'm surrounded. And it was designed that way. So now black people are just at home living their lives, and the white people are just feeling like they're scared. They think
They're
that
the oppressed ones now.
bro,
eh?
they think that they're being erased right now.
Crazy. Hold on. Can we big up some brown people real quick? Brown people, they're kind of smart. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Well, the thing is as well with white people, I think there's certain jobs and whatever where their employee standard is you're giving less of a if it's a straight white male, you kind of don't want them in the workforce. And I saw like hiring requirements and shit like that. Like they literally put an emphasis on try not to get white straight males. And I think it's fucked.
No,
like if you're a white
that's
straight
all a
male,
lie.
worse.
Yo, you
All
know
a
what's
lie.
crazy? Both of my fucking not both. Two of my jobs before I switched to social media, I had like the big boss, like the area manager, and like the fucking guy on top were gay white guys.
Yeah, and that's another thing. They made the black community gay, right? That's another thing. So not only are they unwilling to challenge the government because of...
Wait, what do you mean they made the black?
Listen, no. You don't understand. Psychological warfare, right? And this is how they did it. I'm going to tell you how they got to the black people,
Well, they got
right?
Cardi in the thong the other day, so...
It was harder to get to the black race to turn them gay. Like they didn't putting fluoride in the water. They had to do a lot more than that. So they used the hip hop culture. They used characters like Jay-Z and Puff Daddy or Puff Daddy, whatever they are. These supposed gangster rappers like Lil Wayne, but all these guys are sodomites, right?
What does that mean?
They're all like gender benders. They're all part of the LGBT. You know what I mean?
Jay-Z is gay.
No, they're not just gay. They're most likely transgendered too, right?
Jay-Z is transgender.
Oh yeah. That would mean that Beyonce was born a boy and all that. So I've looked into that. Like that's like a whole nother show. But yeah, all these people. So if you get like a whole black community and you get the projects or whatever you want to call it and you give them these idols that you created that you know are Baphomet worshippers that are not the sex that they portray, whether it's Biggie or Tupac, and you know they're all inverts, right?
They're transgender too?
All of them, bro. They're
Pac
all
and Biggie?
inverted. Look, wasn't Tupac involved with Jada Pinkett Smith, who's also a trans? Like, look at the
Jada's a
kids.
tranny too?
Look at the children. The children are all trans. Look at Megan Fox, who's admitted, it's like, I'm a man. Even Cher says, oh, I'm a rich man in a woman's body. They're all tell you, but people don't believe them because of...
Okay, hold on. So is Caitlyn Jenner, who used to be Bruce Jenner?
Yeah.
So was he biologically a female and now he's back to being a female, or was he a male and
That's
later?
some of the rituals that
That's
I
a
don't...
clusterfuck.
Right,
Yeah. So that's crazy what
That's
they
like
do.
super elite, like, you know?
Yeah, what they do. And remember, they take the drugs, the girls would take testosterone, they do puberty blockers, they have access to the world's best surgeons. Gender affirming surgery is perfected. Like they can honestly turn a penis into a vagina in just a matter of hours, and you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference once it's healed, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
who else is
Wait,
like...
hold on. Sorry.
You go ahead.
Can you go back after or nah?
Yo, what are you considering?
No, I'm just like, because you said a minute
No,
ago
there
from
are
penis
people,
to
it's
vagina.
called
Can you go
the
back
de-
vagina back to penis?
No, you can detransition, but you're already a mess. It's
fucked it up.
irreversible, right?
It's fucking crazy. Terrible.
Yeah. But back to the race thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, the whole race war
mental.
thing. They hushed the black community up. They used the transgendered rappers to get them into this position, like to wear whatever they're wearing now. Like if you look at gangsters today compared to gangsters of 40 years ago, it's night and day, you know, like no disrespect, but honestly, gangsters today look like women, right? And like have people like Lil Wayne to blame for that, or MGK and all these rappers that are now doing humiliation rituals, painting their nails or wearing makeup and weird stuff, right? So
Crazy. Okay, now I got a question for you. So, some of our viewers, right? This is Seeking Success podcast. They watch us because we get a lot of popular content creators on, right?
And they subscribe to us,
And they
obviously.
subscribe to us, obviously.
Yeah.
And their goal, I'd say our goal too, is to one day achieve some sort of fame. So, are you basically saying the only way you can be famous is if you're transgender in the system with these guys?
that's high level elite. There's lower levels like masonry, Freemasons. You got low level Freemasons. Like there's lodges in every village, every town, wherever you are. There's people that go there. And most people are under the impression it's just it's like a frat boy club for rich old guys that hang out and just play ping pong. No, they're honestly helping each other. They have connections to people like Alex Jones and other high-level Masons, and they control media and they give each other jobs, and they, you know, it's a brotherhood, right? So once you learn what they do and where it ties, like where it's connected, you're like, oh, whoa, these guys are connected to the elite. They're just on a lower level, and that's how they have full grip on society and how they get things to spread so quickly and make things go viral on certain platforms like that with certain people, and how they get unbelievable stuff.
No,
So,
but the question was, do you think everyday people could also become famous without joining these organizations? Is that possible?
no,
But at what level of fame are we talking?
there's always some kind of contract or some kind of, like, even with YouTube, like I've seen it, it's fake, right? Like I've gone viral and then I've seen the numbers, and then I've seen the numbers change and go and be rewound back, and like some shady business going on these things, right? And that, like, the numbers is all bots, right? I've looked into it. Now the AI's here. I see clearly now all the, like, AI can talk. AI has profiles. It comments. It's really good. You think you're talking to a person. It will argue with you. It will agree with you. It will like, comment, private message you, right? So and it will talk to other AI bots. So you might see a post on Facebook or Instagram, and it's got like 3,000 comments, and you go through it. Things start to look sus once you start to see it and see how it is, and if you know the English language and actually talk to real people in real life, not through a friggin' computer, then you'll be like, what the hell? These aren't real people. It's just AI communicating with each other, right? So that's how they manipulate people, because people like numbers and like, oh, this person has 1 billion followers like Kylie Jenner. So I'm gonna, you know what I mean? They think that number holds weight of importance when it's all fake.
So what's like the threshold? Because I'd say we're pretty famous ourselves, and I think we've had a bunch of famous people. I don't think any of them have been fucking, you know, dancing with the devil. But at what point, like, what's the number where it's like, okay, if you want to hit this number, now you gotta, you know, like.
It's like you have to be allowed to do it. Like with me, with some of the stuff I've done for this country in the last few years, like I've been on the news. I've had stories written about me in the Toronto Star, from Toronto to all the way to Ottawa, all over the province, right? And it's like I started noticing, it's like, oh, wow, you know, I could see the fame rising. My followers are jumping up, right? People are like, oh, my God, messaging me all the time. And then you start to see the people that are the Masons in society that are trying to keep control over who's rising up or who people are listening to, right? So my own personal experience, I saw that people were sabotaging me because they didn't try to keep you down, right? Because I'm like, oh, I'm not part of this club, right? But anyone that's a part of it, if they do a quarter of what I did, boom, they get shut up like that. And then, you know, oh, they've done the deal, they're doing the hand signs, they're wearing the colors for the gang, you know what I mean? So
What are the colors?
black and white, Mason stripes. You'd see a lot of them wear the black and white stripes, black and white checkers, lots of hand signs, 666, AOK. You get the Spock, like all Masonic, the hidden hand, lots of stuff. They all communicate with these signs and symbols, right? And because I've been involved with who I've been involved with, I've just had like a front row seat to see all of it. I've had people come up to me and try to secret handshake me because I'm friends with someone who they know is a Mason or part of the club. And they're like doing the secret handshake. And I'm like, holy cow, you know what I mean? Like, this guy thinks I'm one of them.
Okay, so without getting us killed,
Yeah.
can you just tiptoe around what exactly is the FM word? I don't even want to say the word, but I'm scared.
Freemasons.
Freemasons. So
Shaitan over here.
there's a lodge everywhere.
Okay, so like
You can just type in your Google Maps, Masonic Temple, Masonic Lodge, right? And you'll see all of them pop up.
Okay.
So I just drove here today from Hamilton. And in Hamilton alone, just from Niagara Falls, the border to USA to Mississauga, there's 20 Mason lodges just along the 403 coming up.
have you ever been to one?
No. I used to live right next to the one in Mississauga, Streetsville. And my roommate was a Mason and used to go there and try to get me to go there. And to me, I just thought it was kind of gay. You know what I mean? A bunch of guys hanging out in suits, sipping martinis. I was like, that's not for me. You guys are homo, right? Like, that was what I always thought.
Wait, no girls allowed in there?
Yeah, they don't bring women there, and they think it's cool. They're like, oh, there's no girls. I'm like, I'm definitely not going. You know what I mean? So,
Yo, are you sure it's not a virgin club?
yeah, so...
Wait, what are they doing there? They just chill?
they do rituals. I don't know. It's all starting to come out now. And the more I push and start looking in and revealing some of this information, the more I see it everywhere. The more I see it in the movies like Killers of the Flower Moon with DiCaprio and De Niro.
Didn't watch that one.
I'm not going to spoil it, but they were Masons in there. And they go visit the lodge and paddle each other on their ass and stuff. I'm like, that's exactly what goes on. And they know it, right? So there was supposedly some guy went undercover in a lodge recently, and it went viral on TikTok and everything. And it showed some of the role play and the little stuff they do in there. It wasn't everything. So they do a lot of like role play and dress up, and they do a lot of Egyptian stuff and play pharaoh and stuff like that. And then there's other rituals like blood rituals and homosexuality stuff. Like they're all gay. They're all like you know, doing something like that.
Crazy. All right, hold on. Fuck, there's like so many things I want to talk about.
I know,
we're on time crunch.
We already got time.
Just very quickly.
Yeah,
for sure. But quickly, do you know much about like the Church of Scientology? Those guys?
I looked into it, and like the first person that comes to mind is Tom Cruise for some reason. Is that? Okay,
yeah. Grant Cardone.
Wait, you part of Scientology?
Yeah.
Fucking
He's super into Scientology.
Okay, crazy. And then there's something else I want to.
Well, yo, let's talk. Fuck. Okay,
wait, very quickly. Okay, is Illuminati and Freemasons connected at all, or no?
There's so many.
Can you give us the tiers? Like, because I know there's like the pyramid.
So many images that depict all of them. Like in that pyramid, you'll see Lucifer's at the top, right?
Okay.
Satan.
Lucifer is Satan.
Yeah, and that's who all of them worship. It has all the royal families. It has Order of the Eastern Stars. It has Freemasons, Jesuits, Knights Templar. Everyone's on there, right? Any sect you've ever heard of is a part of that. Skull and Bones, you know what I mean? All of that. And it's all up there. Like, you get like sorcerers, magicians are even on there, like so much stuff.
Is magic real?
What Disney shows us that magic is.
Well, you
not
hesitated
real,
there. You know something.
But like, yeah, there's that's why they do rituals and seances, because something's real. The magic is real.
Yeah, and it's why we believe magic was revealed in Babylon by two angels.
And they show us you need north, south, east, and west, right? Like if you watch any witch movie, you'll get the 4 witches, and each one sits at north, east, south, and west, right? To cast a spell, right? To summon something. Then you look at the news when they're broadcasting, and look at the letters. It's NEWS, north, east, west, south. Because they're using, so the mainstream media, the news, which is why it's called news, they're broadcasting and putting you under spells, right? So all the news stories, and most of them in the last 10 years are AI generated, all fake, right? All the propaganda videos from the wars and wherever they're happening, a lot of them are AI generated, right? Remember, they just gave us Sora last week. They're like, oh, look, we finally got this. No, what they give us, they've had for 50 years or more. Trust me.
Yeah.
Right?
Same with electric cars.
Apple Vision Pro, wow, we can put 4K headsets on our face. No, they've got contact lenses that can do way more than that thing can do, right? So, yeah.
Okay, one last question I want to ask you, and then maybe I'll get Rudy's one last question, and we're going to wrap it up,
and
unfortunately.
Then we'll have another one last question.
But, so, this whole Egyptian stuff, like, is there some power, some secrets in the... I see a lot of like the woke people, like they have like the eye in the background of the stuff, or they have like a pharaoh in the background, like they're really into the beetle, the scary.
They don't have any power. The only power that they think they have is because they're being manipulated by the demonic forces that are trapped in this world, right? So those forces are manipulating the weak, right? And they get them to. They just get them to do the rituals, and it makes them stronger, right? So these people don't have no power. It's just they have access and are being guided by these entities to lead them to where we are now, right? And then they'll be easily disposed of.
Interesting. Okay, well, I was gonna ask, what was the whole you were saying off camera? People with 6 fingers, 6 toes.
Ooh.
Okay.
I want to touch on that.
Again, the bloodlines. So the highest of the elite. So I don't know how easy I could put this. I'll just say Noah's Ark, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So the world was flooded. It was flooded because of fornication and genetic mutations and stuff like that, right?
Wait, no, I don't know what you mean.
Okay, so
What do you mean,
the
right?
Bible
What?
says that God flooded the world because of sodomy. There was a lot of stuff like transgenderism, homosexuality, just messing with genetics,
like
human
thousands of years
genetics,
ago.
combining human DNA with animal DNA, just creating a whole lot of beasts and abominations, you know, like birds with lions' heads, that kind of thing,
So you're
right?
saying
And
this?
this is explicitly mentioned in the Bible, like the way you're saying it, or you're like,
Yeah. It says the angels came down. They took wives, human women as wives, and they created a whole hybrid race called the Nephilim. So this is half human, half angel.
Okay.
This is the reason that messed up the world. And these Nephilim hybrids, they grew. They were like 100 feet tall. They were giants, right? So they devoured all the resources on Earth. They were cannibals. They ate humans, and then they went to war with each other, which was the clash of the Titans. So that bloodline, God tried to wash it away with the flood, and he saved Noah and his family. So Satan already knew this was going to happen. And what does he do? He's very crafty, very sneaky, and he found the weakest one of Noah's children, which was Ham, right? Son of Noah was Ham. So he pretty much manipulated Ham, tempted Ham, because he knew Ham would be there in the afterworld, right? So Ham sold his soul to Satan and says, I will vow to you, if you give me the power to rule this world, and I will bring back the pre-flooded world. So the Bible says that the end times will be just as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the end when Jesus comes back. So what's happening now has already happened before. Technology is not new. They had AI in the past. All this stuff is just being rebirthed back. They finally spent thousands of years since the flood to just build back their Babylon system, right? So Ham, he is the one that Satan gave the world to that serves him, which is why most cities in the world have the suffix Ham. Buckingham Palace, Hamilton, Durham, right? Hampy, the Hamptons, New York, Tottenham,
hamburger.
Birmingham, everything's Ham,
Crazy.
right? It's like Cain. Everyone knows that Cain is the son of Satan,
Yeah.
which is why all pharmaceutical drugs have the suffix cane, like sugar cane, cocaine, novocaine, procaine, right? So Cain and Ham sold their souls, the children of Satan, which is why it's easy to see. Once you see what the Bible tells you and look around you, like, hold on a second, that actually makes sense, and I can see it for what it is. So, yeah.
Okay, so going back to the
The 6 fingers. So Ham's wife. So Satan tempted Ham to marry a Canaanite girl to bring the bloodline on.
Canaanite?
It's
Cain's descendants.
It's less, yeah. It's like the
it's what?
bloodline that God tried to get rid of,
Okay.
and he only saved Noah because Noah was pure and his DNA was perfect and identical to that of Adam's, the first man, right?
Okay.
So, and obviously he had to save his family, and his sons brought wives with them. And somehow, I'm guessing Ham's wife carried that gene that needed to be gone.
Oh, the half angel, half human gene.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there was still traces of it, not as strong as it was, but it's still enough that people still get deformed fingers. Some people still grew big to like 30 feet tall, like David and Goliath, and you still get these massive people, right? Because the DNA is still somehow survived the flood.
Okay, and you're saying
So yeah.
people in Hollywood still have those
Yeah,
deformities?
so
like-
you can find out, just Google celebrities with 6 fingers, 6 toes. You'll see Kim Kardashian is one of them, Oprah Winfrey, I think Scarlett Johansson. There's a whole bunch of these people that have this genetic defect, the 6 fingers, 6 toes, right? Also in India with Bollywood, some of Bollywood royalty, like the Russian family, they're all the same, right? Different nation, same genetic defect, same royal treatment and practice of the satanic religion with the signs and symbolism.
So okay, if I was to type up Kim Kardashian 6 fingers, what would I see?
Yeah.
I would see it?
Google will tell you, yeah, it's been known, whether she has it removed or not, she's had it, and Oprah's been known to have 6 fingers, 6 toes. Hrithik Roshan, you could see a clear picture.
Yeah, he has 2 thumbs.
Yeah.
Hrithik Roshan has 2 thumbs?
Yeah.
You know
see
this?
Fam, you can see it in the movies.
I've never really paid attention to their fingers and toes like that, bro. Yeah, no, so...
Look at
Wait,
them.
can I see the Kim 6 fingers? You see anything?
Do you want to see the actual pictures?
Yeah.
And that's an easier place to see the practice of the satanic religion and the transgenderism is in India. They have the Hydras they practice, which is a religion that worships transgendered gods, right? And if you look at the Russian family, look at the women, they're all, no offense, they're all pretty ugly, right? For Bollywood royalty, and the men are all pretty, even Hrithik's father, right? The big director. He's got that feminine, pretty eyes. Yeah, it's got a bald head because the hair probably fell out from the hormone abuse, right? So you got to learn to see the signs. So when a woman is on testosterone, the hair falls out, they'll get the white knuckles and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's I've looked at every nation from every culture, from the African culture to the African royal families practice it. The Chinese cultures all practice it. Indian, Western, Eastern. Easy to see. Start looking back at some of the history. Look at like some of the British royals. All of them had issues with producing babies, right? Like Elizabeth I was known as the Virgin Queen, died without producing a child because it's a dude in drag, right? Which is where the term drag queens come from, or Victoria's Secret. If I told you that all the Victoria's Secret models were boys in drag, you'd be like, what the hell?
But hold on. But that CEO openly came out saying he don't support any of that stuff. Remember, like that's why they had to close down Victoria's Secret.
I don't remember that.
No, I don't know that.
Yeah. He's like a big, like conservative
that
guy.
makes sense though, no? Like, you're not gonna fucking say, yeah, all of our models are...
Broski, no, when they're having plus size models and trans models, he was the only guy saying he'd rather close his Victoria's Secret fashion show than have them on stage.
But I think those are like the open... He's
Yeah.
saying like the ones that you don't expect
Yeah,
are...
there's secret ones, there's
Okay,
open
okay.
ones.
You're
so,
talking
yeah.
about like the full-on, like you know it's
fair,
a fucking,
fair,
you know?
fair.
Yeah.
That's mega fucked.
Okay, wait, another... Oh, fuck, last rabbit hole. So, are you familiar with like the Epstein, like all that shit that went on?
Yeah, all of that.
Do you believe that all those people were actually executed that were on that list? Like, do you know about that whole theory?
No, obviously none of them kill themselves. This would be the
No, not Epstein. So, okay, so basically the theory goes, all the people that are on the list, so like, for example, Elon Musk, Kanye, whoever the fuck else is on that list, a lot of those people were actually caught and killed, and now that the people that you see on the TV are just stunt doubles of them.
But who would catch them and do that to them, though?
So, it was fucking... was a white hat some... I'm not 100%. I thought you would know, so I was asking. But
So I think these people are worth billions of dollars, right? A lot of these celebrities, these stars, right? These puppets, right? The masks, the Trumps. So when they're in the front of the world like that, and they're playing an important role, and they're acting as a billionaire, and they know that they have a companies that are generating trillions, like, you really think that the evil of this world is going to let one man do that and not protect their investment? So, yeah, they're going to have multiple versions of that same character, right? Which would be easy to do. Cloning, they have the cloning technology. They have AI, which could easily generate. They got deep fakes, right? So a lot of the stuff I've seen over the years, especially with Trump and some of his speeches, I thought were suspicious. You could see... because I know what to look for with real life and images, because I stare at it all day and code with it. So, yeah, a lot of AI deep fakes. I don't believe they're using masks or robots. They could just be really pushing it to see what they can get away with. Because like the people will never know. They eat it all up. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
holy fuck.
Yeah, clones, robots, AI, all of that in this election year. So we're going to be seeing a lot of freaky stuff, videos that aren't real, just that look so real. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, this year's gonna be fucked.
Yeah, okay. And actual final question. We're gonna actually wrap it up after this one. What's your stance on Elon Musk?
None of them are for us. Trump is not for us. Musk dressed as the devil's champion for Halloween like 2 years ago, right? So definitely shows their allegiance. They always show, and people always stick up and say, oh, he's just trolling the internet. It's like, he's a billionaire. He doesn't need to troll the internet, especially if he owns it. He's showing you who's given him this power in the world
Crazy.
to have things like SpaceX, Twitter X, Tesla Model X. Everything's X now, Disease X, right? So,
Oh, disease X.
yeah.
What's Disease X?
Oh, you don't know about that?
No.
You want to give us a quick 60 seconds?
Disease X?
Yeah, this is the next simulation that they already tested, and for the next virus, for the next pandemic. So,
I will draw a line there.
yeah.
Huh?
That's crazy. All right. Do we even want to do the final four?
Yeah, why not? We have to. It's
I've,
a ritual. It's our ritual.
This is our satanic ritual.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the rapid fire round. We're going to ask you 4 quick questions. First thing that comes to your mind. Cool?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. If you had, I fucking forgot the first one. If you had to swap lives with someone for 24 hours, who would you pick?
It'd probably be a race car driver.
Okay.
I don't know one in particular, just that life. I love racing and just being in a car at a track, going as fast as you can with those forces. Like, to me, that's cool. And like, so like away from everything else I'm involved in. So yeah, that would be, yeah, that.
Oh, cool answer.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll say Lewis Hamilton or Michael Schumacher, like,
Lando
you know,
Norris.
yeah,
Hamilton.
Lando Norris, yeah.
Crazy. All right. Next one is, who would you say is the most motivational person of all time for you personally?
As corny as it, like my dad and Jesus, I guess. Not many people. I used to idol worship a lot and look up to celebrities, but no more. Yeah, and I recommend no one look up to celebrities. It's all fake. I used to defend and look up to Michael Jackson and Johnny Depp, all these people, but no, I couldn't even tell you the last thing these people did, right?
Okay. Let's just say your whole life from the day you were born till now is written in a book. What would the title of that book be called?
Epic. Yeah, the first word that comes to mind, yeah.
Dope.
All right. And last final question. If today was your dying message, your final message to the world, what would it be?
God is real. And it's all about to end soon. So yeah, I'm embracing it. So
Holy
Yeah.
fuck. Wow.
just get ready. Everything that could possibly be involved in an end of world scenario, we have it. We got flying drones, we got AI, we got holograms, we got everything, all the tools that a devil could need. It's here and available right now. So get ready for what the show is going to be, right? Showtime.
Fucking A. Well, that one wraps this episode up, guys. This one was packed
Fucking
with
insane.
a ton. Obviously, if this episode does good, we're going to run a part 2.
If it doesn't get deleted.
And if it doesn't get deleted, comment your favorite timestamps down below. And do you want to make a plug for your links?
So my Instagram just got deleted. It is at KingNico18. Hopefully I'll get it back soon. I have other profiles, but definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to reach 10K subs.
Let's go.
I've been stuck at like 8,000 for a while now. So again, King Nico, Nico with a C, Nico, and sub up there. You can see me speaking all these topics I go over. I do series on them. So it'd be great to have some new subs and to red pill some new people.
Sounds a bit gay, but...
You know,
No,
red
red
pill,
pill,
wake
so
it up. Yeah.
All right, well, that would wraps it up,
Nice.
guys. If you enjoy watching, you know what to do. Take it away.
Guys, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, remember, stay seeking success. Let's go. What a fucking show.
That was crazy, bro.
That was fucking good, bro.